How's it going? My name's Brendan, Portland native, been here 20 years, part of the Occupy movement. Specialize in the kitchen area, which is no longer existent. Last night was a great triumph over the powers that be. We had 10,000 people plus in the streets of Portland, in the two parks and in Main Street. And we pretty much, it was a victory for us on behalf of the Occupy movement. Unfortunately, we were defeated this morning by the lack of numbers and people getting their so-called homes torn apart by police and authorities, which was kind of a very rude awakening, if you would per se. But I don't ever think it's going to stop or go backwards. It's only going to get stronger and bigger now that we have the support and the eye from the world is watching now. It's very important. So it's definitely going to get bigger and better and stronger from here on out.
So, how has your involvement with Occupy Portland locally kind of gave you a new perspective on, how the city is handling this situation and, all the dilemmas and all the problems that they propose about, the crime rate,
as far as the crime, and that's going to happen anywhere in the world, there's always going to be crime, there's always going to be a few bad seeds that ruin it for everyone. And, it's unfortunate it had to happen here, and the media blew it out of proportion. Who knows what they made up to try and, keep us down. But it's not a matter of, whether it happens here at Occupy. It's going to happen outside of these parks anyway. At least here people have a safe place to get help, to get treatment, to get therapy, to get, intervention to whatever problems they have, whether it be drugs and alcohol or, mental illness, physical handicap. There's people here to help everyone. That's the great thing.
So you're saying that a lot of the crimes that were so-called that happened here, they weren't people who were directly involved with Occupy?
I mean, everyone's involved. We're all part of the 99%. But if there were, younger kids going through their stages and experimenting with this and that, I mean, I did it when I was younger. But it's unfortunate that they had to bring it in here. As we're trying to create a nice image for people that don't quite understand what's going on yet, to be appealing to them and not have to walk through somewhere where they feel threatened or frightened. So it was unfortunate that our image was a little tarnished by that, but the turnout of people last night proved that the 99% aren't just a handful of people that are looked down upon for their habits and whatnot. It's all of us. This entire city came together last night.
So I saw you when I was talking to Amy here, and I think Tad here. I saw you come over to the statue, and you
it's the look on my face.
The look on your face just showed it all. And can you just say what was going on?
It's very disheartening. I mean, we volunteered our hard work and time and effort to create this beautiful thing that was. Now it's just a mud pit. And it breaks my heart, All the people and all the work we put into this in the last month. It's been incredible. Every single day, it's just an evolution. People and ideas and constantly making stuff better, shortcuts, and, simplifying things, organizing things. It's just beautiful, absolutely. Every walk of life in Portland came together for us. It proves that we can do it, we the people.
Is there any uniqueness in this particular statue or anything like that you were just standing there in solitude and just trying to express yourself?
Sorry, the engraving on it is absolutely tear-jerking. It's written by Thomas Jefferson, 1804, and the speech pretty much sums up what we were trying to do here, or what we did here. And it's not a lot of people have read that plaque that have been around, so it's just to stand here after everything that's been said and done, and sit there and read it again. It's just like,
so what does it speak for you when you basically saw what happened today after we supposedly won the protest last night? And how do you feel about it? Can you express it? What do you plan on doing next?
I think the feeling of just emptiness, loneliness, like not loneliness, we're all still here, but it's just kind of feeling of like when you're a kid and you build something cool out of Legos and then someone comes along and just smashes it. Kind of like that. You know, feel a little bit angry, a little bit pissed off.
That's good, yeah.
Now we gotta get all the building blocks back out and build it back up again. So as a metaphor, metaphorically speaking, yeah.
I think it's very well said.
Someone broke my Lego.
Yeah, no, I think we probably can agree in solidarity with that.
For sure.
Yeah, well.
I mean, in comparison to what's happened in Oakland, you know, they reformed, came back stronger. What's happened in Eugene, they've had to move 4 times and they're now at a solid place. It's fortified and it's very well organized. Occupy Eugene is one of the most impressive I've seen so far.
Yeah.
Obviously Portland's been the biggest and it's quite the learning experience, culture experience.
When you say biggest, you mean biggest in terms of Occupy in general or biggest in terms of the state?
Both. I mean, as far as the political actions and things that were created here, it's just been incredible. The amount of help in the community, donations, different businesses, even corporations donating was just amazing. You know, things that we've dreamed about since we were all kids. It's all happening now. It's mind blowing to see.
Would you say that it's the uniqueness character of the Portland culture that's the reason, or what
definitely? I mean, Portland's known for its diversity in the first place. There's a very eclectic group of people here that from all over. I mean, every race, color, creed, preference, walk of life comes to Portland. You know, it's kind of a melting pot for culture, and it's very well understood up here. People are kind-hearted and generally helpful. You know, it's not like other places like the East Coast where people are so tight. You know, people are generally willing to help you here, which has created an atmosphere of just everyone helping each other, helping other people help people. Like, it's very unique, definitely. You know, it's going on the same way. I mean, people are obviously helping each other in other cities too, but in Portland, it's just such a feeling of love towards each other. Like, no matter what you're doing, no matter what you're into, it's just we're all here for this cause, and people just came together for that. It's just priceless.
Just for like the sake of debate, you know, I'm gonna play like devil's advocate, and I've been following on Occupy Portland Facebook page a lot and just reading messages and seeing what people have to say about Occupy Portland in general. And it sounds like from what you're saying is that Portland people are able to share and give to the community very much, but a lot of commenter on the page actually says that well, they speak for themselves, is that they're so polar, they can't come to a consensus on like one idea. They can't agree to something. There's always arguments on the page, and so it's contradicting to what you were saying, and what I've seen on others like Occupy page and like Occupy Minnesota or Occupy Boston or something like that. They're very fluid, right? It's that everyone's just congruent on everything.
Yeah.
So what do you say about that?
You're right in that aspect. There's a lot of different heads that you have different ideas that not necessarily everyone's going to agree on each other's issues. People are maybe biased in one way, or everyone's brought up differently and thinks differently. So it's
fucking cold.
It is hard to get everyone on the same page like that. It's not easy. And with the amount of people here in Portland and constantly new people, we'll have a system set up that we understand, and then more new people will come in and try and influence that system. And then we have to go back and explain the old system, and then it's just, it is a little painstaking when it comes to the organizational of doing process things. Like the meetings are hard because everyone wants to speak and everyone wants to be heard, and it's hard when you're taking the words out of someone's mouth or someone's putting words in your mouth, and it's you know, it can be confusing if it's not handled correctly. But for the most part, you know, the GAs have been getting better and better. The one we had last night was amazing. You know, and hopefully, you know, people are hesitant to point at leaders and say that, oh, this person's elitist or this, that. No, we need leaders. We need people that know how to not control people, but manage people, and, you know, make them feel welcome into the whole idea process. You know, instead of saying, no, that person can't speak. Everyone's allowed to speak. You know, and it's good to have people that facilitate that to make it run properly.
I have to say, what you just mentioned there, it's probably was one of the, I don't know if this is the right word, but one of the biggest tactics that I've seen from the media and the general public in general, just kind of saying about Occupy how we lack leadership and we lack motivation, we lack a common goal, we don't have a direction. What do you have to say about that for people who are just trying to learn about Occupy and the rest of other occupiers in the
we definitely have a direction. It's the only way is up now. You know, it's obviously the seed's been planted and the roots are in the soil. We're just waiting for springtime to let the flowers grow, I guess.
Very good with the analogies.
Thanks. I'm kind of a writer myself. Yeah, I don't see it getting any worse. You know, this morning is probably the worst we've had, and it's going peacefully for now. I mean, we still have one blockaded camp that refuses to go, and it's probably get ugly, but hopefully no one will get hurt, and we can all reestablish ourselves, reoccupy a different space, and take care of the land this time, and move on with what we're doing and try and make some real changes with how the world is running. Hopefully.
Anything else you want to add for the other occupiers?
Hi, Mom. Everyone that's a part of the movement, thank you very much. This is probably the biggest, you know, part of history that we'll experience in our lifetime. Definitely world history. It's going down. To be a part of this revolution is incredible. Like, stuff that our ancestors, forefathers, grandparents, parents fought so hard for and envisioned. You know, we're the generation that's doing it now. And, like, I'm in my 30s. I can't imagine what young kids are thinking of all this. Like, wow, we're gonna grow up in a great world finally. You know. So it's, yeah, just like to say thank you to everyone. I'll be here. I ain't going nowhere.
Just that last comment that you made reminded me. I think it was Thomas Jefferson that said that a revolution must occur every 10 years, right? Do you agree with that, or?
In some shape or form, you know, whether it's energy crisis or, you know, resources or cultural revolution, or, you know, it's kind of necessary to kind of refresh things and, you know, get the wheels turned in the right direction again, instead of falling into a comfort zone pattern. You know. Keep it fresh, keep it moving.
All right.
Thanks.